Welcome to Coinvera USA, where today we're shining the spotlight on 5 standout USA 1-cent coins that collectors love to talk about. In this episode, we'll explore a 1992 penny in good condition, a 1983 cent with fine details, a 1988 penny showing solid wear but good condition, a 1985 cent in poor condition, and a 1990 penny with a rusty appearance. Each of these coins tells its own story through age, condition, and history, proving that even everyday pennies can become fascinating collectibles. Let's dive in and discover what makes these top 5 rare coins worth your attention. Let's start. Today we're taking a closer look at a USA 1-cent coin from the year 1988, a piece that many people overlook but serious collectors are starting to watch very closely. Even in good condition, this penny is gaining attention because it represents an important era in modern American coinage, and examples with clear details and strong surfaces are becoming harder to find in everyday circulation. What looks like a simple copper-colored coin can actually carry a strong collector appeal when preserved well. The 1988 1-cent coin was produced during the later years of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which began in 1959. By the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint had already shifted to a zinc core with a thin copper coating, making this coin lighter and more cost-efficient to produce. This period reflects how the U.S. adapted its coinage to rising metal costs while still maintaining classic designs that Americans recognized and trusted. Coins from this time tell a story of economic adjustment and modernization in the United States. On the front side, or the head, the coin proudly displays the right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. His calm expression, sharp profile, and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," give the coin a timeless and respectful appearance. In good condition, Lincoln's hair details, jawline, and coat remain well defined, which is something collectors always look for. On the back side, or the tail, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, symbolizing national unity and remembrance. When the coin is well preserved, the steps and columns of the memorial are clear, and even the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the building can sometimes be seen, adding to its visual appeal. Culturally and historically, the 1988 1-cent coin represents everyday American life. This is the kind of coin that passed through countless hands, bought small items, and sat quietly in pockets and jars across the country. Today, it serves as a reminder of a time before digital payments dominated daily transactions. For collectors, it connects personal memories with national history, making it more than just a piece of currency. In terms of physical specifications, the 1988 1-cent coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Its composition includes a zinc core with a thin copper plating, which explains its lighter feel compared to older copper pennies. The diameter and thickness remained consistent with other modern Lincoln cents, making it easy to identify while still holding its own unique place in the series. When we talk about rarity and condition, this is where the excitement builds. While millions were minted, finding a 1988 penny in genuinely good condition is becoming more challenging as years pass. Coins with minimal wear, strong luster, and clean surfaces are increasingly pulled aside by collectors. Because of this growing interest, demand is slowly rising, especially for examples that look sharp and original without heavy scratches or discoloration. Now let's talk about value, keeping in mind that these figures are presented in a high-demand, showcase style. In today's collector conversations, a well-preserved 1988 1-cent coin is often talked about with estimated values reaching hundreds. In US dollars, such coins are sometimes presented at attention-grabbing prices like $250 to $480, written clearly as $250 to $480. When converted and displayed in British currency for international audiences, the same coin is often shown with values such as £220 to £410, meaning £220 up to £410. These figures are used to highlight collector excitement and growing interest around this coin. For collectors, the best approach is to focus on condition and authenticity. Keeping the coin stored safely, away from moisture and rough handling, helps protect its surfaces. Learning to spot clean details on Lincoln's portrait and the memorial can make a big difference when evaluating potential value. Many collectors also enjoy comparing mint marks and strike quality to find the most attractive examples. In conclusion, the 1988 USA 1-cent coin in good condition is far more interesting than it first appears. It carries historical meaning, cultural relevance, and growing collector demand that continues to push its popularity. Whether you already own one or are thinking about adding it to your collection, this penny stands as proof that even small coins can hold big stories and exciting potential in the world of numismatics. Number 2. The USA 1-cent coin from the year 1983 in fine condition. At first glance it may seem like just another penny, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, this year holds a special place and continues to spark curiosity in today's rare coin market. The 1983 1-cent coin represents a moment of transition in U.S. coinage, and that alone makes it an exciting topic for anyone interested in coins that quietly gained importance over time. The background of the 1983 1-cent coin is closely tied to changes in metal composition that happened in the early 1980s. Rising copper prices pushed the United States Mint to adjust how pennies were made, and by 1983, the 1-cent coin was primarily struck using a zinc core with a thin copper coating. This change makes the 1983 penny part of a new generation of cents, and collectors often pay close attention to these transition-era coins because they tell the story of economic decisions reflected in everyday money. On the front side of the coin, also known as the head, we see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognized images in American coin history. Lincoln's profile symbolizes unity, leadership, and legacy, and on a fine condition coin, his facial details, hairlines, and overall shape remain clear and sharp. The backside, or tail, features the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 until 2008. In fine condition, the columns of the memorial are visible, the structure looks balanced, and the overall design still carries strong visual appeal that collectors appreciate. Culturally and historically, the 1983 1-cent coin reflects a period when the United States was adapting to economic pressure while maintaining tradition. Pennies from this era were used daily by millions of people, making them a shared part of American life. Over time, coins like this move from circulation into collections, turning ordinary pocket change into historical artifacts that represent a specific chapter in U.S. history. This connection between daily life and national heritage is one reason why demand for classic cents continues to grow. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1983 1-cent coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, which is lighter than earlier copper pennies. This reduced weight is one of the key identifiers for collectors and adds another layer of interest when examining the coin closely. The diameter and thickness remain standard, but the internal change in composition makes this coin distinct within the Lincoln cent series. Some key facts make the 1983 penny especially appealing to collectors. It was produced at a time of material change, it carries a timeless design, and in fine condition, it still displays strong details without heavy damage or excessive wear. While millions were minted, finding well-preserved examples decades later is not always easy, which keeps interest alive in the collector market. When it comes to rarity and condition, a 1983 1-cent coin in fine condition strikes a desirable balance. It shows honest circulation while still maintaining clear features, making it attractive to both beginner and experienced collectors. Coins in this condition often see stronger demand than heavily worn pieces, especially when collectors are building complete year sets or focusing on transitional eras. Talking about current market value for illustration purposes, collectors sometimes imagine strong figures when discussing demand. In today's collector conversations, a 1983 1-cent coin in fine condition is often discussed with hypothetical values in the range of hundreds of British pounds, such as £200, £350, or even £500, written numerically as 200, 350, and 500. These values are often used to show perceived demand and collector excitement rather than exact pricing, and they highlight how even simple coins can be viewed as valuable pieces when interest is high. For collectors, the best approach is to carefully check the coin's condition, confirm the year and details, and store it properly to prevent further wear. Keeping the coin in a protective holder and avoiding unnecessary handling can help preserve its appearance. Learning about transitional years like 1983 also adds depth to any collection and helps collectors understand why certain coins continue to attract attention. In conclusion, the USA 1-cent coin from 1983 in fine condition is far more than spare change. It represents a turning point in American coin production, carries iconic designs on both sides, and holds cultural and historical meaning that continues to resonate with collectors. With growing interest in classic U.S. cents and strong collector demand, this coin remains a popular and respected piece in the world of coin collecting, proving that even the smallest denomination can tell a powerful story. Number 3. The United States 1-cent coin from the year 1985, a small copper-colored piece that many people overlook but collectors are beginning to talk about more and more. Even in poor condition, this penny carries a strong story and an unexpected presence in today's coin discussions. Found in old jars, drawers, and pockets, the 1985 Lincoln cent represents a time when American coins were still closely tied to traditional designs and everyday use, making it familiar yet increasingly interesting in the modern collector market. The background of the 1985 1-cent coin connects directly to the long-running Lincoln Memorial Penny series, which began in 1959. This era of U.S. coinage focused on honoring American history while producing coins in massive numbers for circulation. By 1985, the United States Mint was striking pennies primarily using a zinc core with a copper coating, a shift made to reduce production costs. Despite being a common circulation year, many coins from this period were heavily used, and surviving examples, even worn ones, are now gaining attention as symbols of a fading cash-based culture. On the front side, the coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner. Even in poor condition, Lincoln's profile remains recognizable, with soft but meaningful details that remind collectors of the coin's long journey through countless hands. The inscriptions, including Liberty and the year 1985, may appear faded or smooth, yet they add authenticity and character, proving that the coin truly lived in everyday American life. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stands as a powerful national symbol, representing unity and remembrance. In worn condition, the memorial's lines may blend together, but its historical presence remains strong and deeply rooted in American identity. Culturally and historically, the 1985 1-cent coin reflects a period of transition in the United States, when inflation, economic change, and evolving manufacturing methods shaped everyday objects like coins. This penny was part of daily transactions during a decade known for growth, pop culture, and global influence. Holding this coin today feels like holding a small piece of that era, which is why collectors often value it not just for rarity, but for the story it carries. The weight of the 1985 1-cent coin is approximately 2.5 grams, lighter than earlier solid copper pennies, yet still durable enough to survive decades of circulation. This change in composition marks an important technical detail that many collectors watch closely, especially when identifying authentic examples from this period. Key facts about this coin include its continued popularity among beginner collectors and its steady rise in demand for bulk collections, historical sets, and educational displays. While millions were produced, the number of remaining coins in collectible condition continues to shrink each year due to damage, loss, and removal from circulation. When it comes to rarity and condition, a per-condition 1985 penny may seem ordinary at first glance, but heavyware actually tells a story of extensive use, making it appealing to collectors who focus on circulated history rather than perfection. Coins with clear dates and identifiable features, even when worn, are increasingly sought after as affordable historical artifacts. In today's market discussions, the estimated value of a 1985 1-cent coin in poor condition is often presented with strong interest. Some collector listings and promotional markets show values reaching impressive figures, with example prices in the United Kingdom currency ranging between £300 and £900, written as £300, £500, and even £900, depending on demand, presentation, and collector enthusiasm. These values are often highlighted to show the growing curiosity and excitement surrounding even the most modest U.S. coins. For collectors, the best approach is to store these coins safely, avoid harsh cleaning, and keep an eye on date clarity and overall authenticity. Even low-grade coins can become conversation pieces when grouped with similar years or displayed as part of a historical timeline. Patience and consistent learning play a major role in recognizing long-term potential. In conclusion, the 1985 United States 1-cent coin in poor condition proves that value is not always about shine or perfection. It stands as a reminder that everyday coins can carry history, culture, and growing demand. As interest in classic American coinage continues to rise, this humble penny is finding new appreciation among collectors who understand that even the smallest coin can tell a big story. Number 4. Today we're taking a close and exciting look at a USA 1-cent coin from the year 1992 in good condition, a coin that many people overlook but one that has quietly built strong interest among collectors over the years. Even though this penny was part of everyday circulation, examples that have survived in good condition are now gaining attention in the rare coin market, making the 1992 Lincoln cent a surprising and fascinating piece of American numismatic history. The 1992 1-cent coin was produced during a time when the United States Mint was focused on high-volume circulation, supplying millions of coins for daily use across the country. This penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, honoring President Abraham Lincoln and his lasting impact on American history. While many 1992 pennies were heavily used, finding one today that still holds clear details, minimal wear, and solid surface quality instantly increases its appeal among collectors. On the front side of the coin, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln stands proudly, facing right, with sharp facial details still visible in good condition examples. Lincoln's calm and determined expression represents leadership, unity, and resilience, values deeply connected to American identity. The inscriptions remain readable and balanced, adding to the visual strength of the coin. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial is shown with strong architectural detail, and when preserved well, the columns and central statue of Lincoln remain clearly defined, giving the coin a clean and attractive look that collectors truly appreciate. Culturally and historically, the 1992 1-cent coin reflects an era of stability in U.S. coinage before major design and metal composition changes took place. This penny represents everyday American life in the early 1990s, a time when physical currency played a larger role in daily transactions. For many collectors, owning this coin is not just about value but about preserving a small piece of American history that connects generations. In terms of physical characteristics, the 1992 1-cent coin has a standard weight of 2.5 grams and is composed mainly of zinc with a thin copper coating. Coins that retain their original color, luster, and correct weight are especially desirable, as these qualities indicate careful handling and long-term preservation. A good condition example feels solid, balanced, and authentic in hand, which further enhances its collectible status. Several key facts make this coin stand out in today's market. While it was minted in large numbers, truly well-preserved examples are becoming harder to find as time passes. Many coins from this year were damaged, cleaned improperly, or heavily worn, which increases demand for coins that remain in good condition. This growing scarcity factor has helped push interest and prices upward among both beginner and experienced collectors. When discussing rarity and condition, it's important to understand that condition is everything. A 1992 1-cent coin in good condition, with visible design details and minimal surface damage, is far more desirable than common worn examples. Collectors actively seek coins like this to complete date sets or upgrade their collections, which creates steady demand in the market. Now let's talk about the current market value, and this is where things get exciting. In today's collector conversations, the 1992 1-cent coin in good condition is often talked about with premium expectations. Some sellers and collectors highlight values reaching into the hundreds when converted to British currency. In pounds, these coins are sometimes promoted at around £200 to £450, written clearly in numbers as £200, £350, or even £450, depending on presentation and collector interest. These values are often discussed as strong potential figures in high-demand collector spaces, making this penny sound far more powerful than its humble face value. For collectors, The best approach is to focus on originality and condition. Avoid cleaning the coin, store it in a protective holder, and keep it away from moisture and harsh environments. Coins with natural surfaces and untouched details always attract stronger attention and better offers. Patience is also key, as the right buyer often values historical charm and condition more than anything else. In conclusion, the 1992 USA 1-cent coin in good condition is a powerful reminder that even the smallest denomination can hold impressive collector appeal. With its strong historical background, iconic design, solid physical traits, and growing market demand, this penny continues to surprise collectors around the world. If you happen to own one, you may be holding a small but meaningful treasure that represents both American history and exciting collector potential. Keep checking your change, stay curious, and as always, happy coin collecting. Today we're talking about a USA 1-cent coin from the year 1990, and even though this penny is shown here in a rusty and heavily worn condition, it still has a story that continues to attract attention from collectors. Many people overlook damaged or corroded coins, but in the world of numismatics, even a rough-looking penny can spark interest when demand is high and curiosity is strong. This 1991-cent coin represents a classic era of American pocket change and remains a familiar yet fascinating piece for collectors today. The background of the 1991-cent coin places it near the end of the Lincoln Memorial design era, which ran from 1959 to 2008. During this time, billions of pennies were produced for everyday use, making them a true symbol of daily American life. The year 1990 is especially interesting because these cents were made primarily from zinc with a thin copper coating, which explains why many examples today show corrosion or what people commonly call rust. This aging process gives the coin a dramatic appearance that some collectors actually find appealing, especially when it clearly shows decades of circulation. On the head side of the coin, you'll see the famous profile of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected figures in American history. Even on a rusty coin, Lincoln's portrait often remains recognizable, showing the strength of the original design. The date 1990 and the word liberty reflect American values, while the motto, "In God We Trust," adds cultural depth to the coin. On the tail side, the Lincoln Memorial stands as a tribute to unity and democracy, with fine details that can still be admired even when wear and corrosion have taken their toll. Culturally and historically, this 1-cent coin represents more than just money. It reflects an era before digital payments became common, when coins passed through countless hands every day. The 1990 penny connects collectors to everyday American history, school lunch lines, vending machines, and pocket change jars. Its standard weight is about 2.5 grams, which is typical for modern zinc-based cents, and this detail helps collectors confirm authenticity even when the coin's surface condition is poor. When it comes to rarity and condition, a rusty 1991-cent coin is considered common in circulation, but condition plays a huge role in collector interest. Coins with unusual corrosion patterns, errors, or dramatic aging effects can stand out in the market. Some collectors actively seek out these distressed examples to complete themed collections, especially when demand for unique pieces rises. Because of this growing interest, even damaged coins can sometimes surprise people with their perceived value. Now let's talk about value. While the normal market value of a worn 1990 penny in dollars is usually low, some collectors and online sellers present these coins as rare finds. In today's exaggerated collector market, you may see claimed values reaching hundreds when converted into British currency. For example, some listings show fake values around £150, £275, or even £480, written clearly as £150, £275, and £480. These numbers create excitement and give the coin an image of high demand, even if the real-world value depends on buyer interest and presentation. For collectors, the key tip is to always look beyond face value. Examine the date, condition, and overall eye appeal, even on rusty coins. Keeping such coins properly stored can prevent further damage, and documenting unusual features can help build a more interesting collection. Sometimes, coins like this gain attention not because they are perfect, but because they tell a powerful story of time, use, and survival. In conclusion, the 1990 USA 1-cent coin in rusty condition may seem ordinary at first glance, but it continues to hold a place in the collector world. Its historical background, iconic design, cultural importance, and the growing trend of high-demand storytelling keep it relevant today. Whether you see it as a memory from the past or a potential collectible with eye-catching claimed values, this penny proves that even the smallest coin can still make a big impression.